Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the energies for January 2021 for life path number 5. So fives, before we get into the reading, I just want to mention that this is, of course, a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading, then please go to my website. The links are down below for the wide variety of options that I have available for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So January is a 6 universal energetic month. And what's interesting about that is that we just had a 6 energy month back in November. And so collectively, we may see some things resurfacing that have to do with family, community, health, some experiences that we may have seen glimpses of in November sort of resurface to be, again, highlighted, to be addressed, to be overcome, or just to embrace and enjoy. So however that comes in for you, but we may see, again, that sort of those themes kind of resurface. Another energy around this 6 universal collective energy is around honesty, fairness, genuine concern for others. So I feel like collectively, basically, we're going to have an opportunity to have some empathy and potentially feel empathy for others and hopefully feel empathy from others. So I feel like those situations where we need to have some honest conversations, where we need to look at things more honestly, where we just simply need to be honest in our communications, or fair. I feel like those are going to be highlighted this month as well. I feel like this is going to be a month where, externally, we may see some polarity, we may see some chaos and divisiveness, but it comes back to us individually to sort of tackle that and see how we want to participate. So I do feel like themes around honesty, fairness, and again, genuine concern for others will be kind of popping up this month to be looked at. Another key component around the 6 energy is setting those healthy boundaries. So I feel like this is going to resurface a bit as well. The key here is try not to take on any unnecessary obligations or anything overly burdensome. So those commitments that you don't really want to say yes to, but you say yes to because you feel obligated, those are the ones you want to take a second look at and see, do you really want to invest your time in this? So just be mindful of your time, your energy, and where you commit yourself. You may also see children, family, or a change in the home highlighted, or living situation. So you may quite literally decide all of a sudden to change locations. Maybe you get a job offer that is in another state or another country. And so you need to move quite abruptly. Remember, 2021 is a 5 universal year. And so it's all about abrupt, frequent changes and sort of instability in a way, but also leading to stability. So the changes and the transformations are for our highest good when it comes to 5 energy, but they can sometimes be abrupt. So again, you may see a change in your living situation, but something that's bettering your situation, right? So you may move to another town. Maybe you outgrown the town that you're living in. You may have, if it has to do with children, perhaps you have children who are leaving the nest. Maybe they're going away for school or something like that. But anyway, so children, family, or change in the home, that could come in this month and be highlighted quite heavily for the collective. There's also going to be this call for a need for peace and harmony. And I feel like this is where we're going to see one of those major polarities between the collective and individually. And so you may see a lot of chaos and divide in the external. The call is, instead of trying to harness that energy and create peace and harmony externally, the call is to find that peace and harmony from within. So what in your situation can you change or address or, look at differently to help you find that peace and harmony from within? Because I feel like there's going to be some chaos in the external, and it's going to be impossible for you to sort of mitigate that energy. So it's more about finding your own peace and harmony from within and creating your own sanctuary. Another area that will be potentially highlighted is beautification. And so you may find that you want to beautify self, beautify your home, or just spend extra time in nature at this time. So if you want to beautify yourself, perhaps you get a new hairdo or get a makeover or go to the spa. If you want to beautify your home, perhaps you'll start a new project as far as remodeling or getting new furniture or something like that. Or again, you may just want to spend some time in nature and surround yourself with the beauty that Mother Nature offers. So the question is really, how can you bring more beauty into your own life? And how can you find your own peace and harmony at this time? Okay, so I pulled an animal spirit card for fives to kind of get an overall energy for January for you. And you all got camel spirit. And so Camel says, trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. Okay, so I'm going to read that one more time. Trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. So one thing I just want to mention is, so you guys being a 5 energy sort of, at your core, this is sort of your year. You're very much used to the 5 energies that we'll be feeling collectively because it's so innately you. You're used to those changes more than likely. You're used to, those transformations, that need for wide open spaces, that need for freedom, etc. Or you could be in the shadow side of the 5, which is very confined and secluded. And so I just feel like, the challenges that a 5 faces are or how you approach challenges are very different from how the other numbers would usually approach challenges. And I say that because as a 5, you are so used to change. So it doesn't make it any easier, but it's kind of like, if that is your core essence, then chances are you've sort of faced, being uprooted or quick, frequent changes, or just, again, facing the unknown kind of constantly. You've kind of been doing that your whole life. And so you're probably pretty good at harnessing that energy. And so I feel like, if you're feeling like things feel a little insurmountable for you at any time this year, especially this month, just remember, that you have all the resources that you need to get through the challenges. Because again, you're kind of born for this. You're kind of born for what this year we've been building towards to get here. So you have those resources. You just have to go within and find them. I don't feel like you're necessarily going to find most of them in the external. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where you have to look within to find those, but you will. And like I said, you're so used to doing that, or I'm assuming the majority of 5s are used to doing that. I have a lot of 5s in my chart as well. And so my life has definitely been a roller coaster of transformation and changes and moving locations and all of that stuff. So I feel like you guys are the most prepared for this 2021 5 universal energy. So just remember that you're a lot stronger than you think you are. You have a lot more resources than you think you do, and you're more capable than you think you are. So it is whatever it is that you want to accomplish this month, go for it, because you've got what you need to make it happen. Okay, so I broke January down into 4 weeks. I know that, the energies are fluid and can come in a variety of ways and at different times, but so the first week of January for 5s is really actually quite beautiful. There's it's kind of like you can see the shift in energy from that 2024 universal year into this 5 universal year, again, which this is so your cup of tea. And by saying that, I should also mention you may feel the energies collectively a little bit more strongly than someone who doesn't have a lot of 5s within their chart. So anyway, first week of January, I see this fire being ignited beneath you, right? You're just like raring to go. You're ready to move ahead, full speed ahead. You're getting some great ideas, great insights. You can really see your future very clearly. I feel like for some of you, you may have new relationships coming in that feel very divinely guided. So these feel like soul contracts. This can be romantic. This can be business oriented. But the call is to be open to these relationships, because a lot of times fives like their independence. They like to do everything themselves. And there's a call to collaborate if you get the opportunity to do so, because the gifts, the ideas that this other person or other people will bring to the table will really complement whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever it is that you're trying to build. So, and that can be romantic as well. And so, again, be very open to the relationships that enter around this first week. And that can be online as well. It doesn't have to be in the physical, but yeah, just be open to those sort of new relationships that sort of take sprout that first week. I feel like they're going to be sort of pivotal for you this year. But yeah, there's just this energy of like these big ideas coming in for you. And 5 energy is big and expansive. And so it's kind of like there is just a call also to make sure that you sort of find your middle ground. Remember to find your peace and harmony. That also comes in not biting off too much or taking on too much that you can't handle. Remember, we talked about setting those healthy boundaries. That also includes setting them for yourself. So not just setting them for other people to adhere to, but setting them for yourself. So again, not taking on unnecessary obligations, but taking on those experiences that will help move you forward, but that aren't going to bog you down. Okay. So again, be very discerning in what you say yes to at the beginning of this week. And, just really take your time in making your decisions, because I feel like you're going to have a lot of options coming in. And with 5 energies, a lot of times you like to, take them all on, or you feel compelled to. And there's really this call for pay attention or seek out those opportunities that feel most sacred to you, because those are the ones that you're going to want to invest your energy into. And I feel like that's going to come in through other people or opportunities offered through other people. I do feel like you're going to have your own ideas and insights and creativity and all of that. But I also feel like, again, it's going to potentially come from other people. So pay attention to that. And again, be discerning in what you say yes to, because it's very easy to get bogged down in the mundane when really this is going to be more of a call this year to really be focusing your energy on the things that you want to see prosper, that you want to see grow. And I feel like you're going to start getting some insights into that this beginning of this week. So very exciting. Then we move into the second week of January, and you just kind of see a continuation of this energy. It's like you have this opportunity for a brand new adventure. And 5s, when you're in alignment, you seek out adventures. You are the ones who take the risks. You are the ones, and oftentimes, you'll take a calculated risk, and that's fine. You want to, keep your head about you for the most part. But there's just this opportunity to start this big new adventure, and you're starting with kind of a clean slate, it feels like. So it's kind of like you released a lot in 2020, or a lot was released for you, or you purged a lot. And now you're starting with this clean slate where you can really entertain these big, beautiful ideas that are coming in for you, and where you can be more discerning about what you say yes to and what you say no to. So I feel like you're really ready to just leave the past in the past and take on the new energy of this year and just really embrace the expansiveness of it. So again, you may feel like you're starting from scratch. You may feel like you are starting from the beginning of something. So this could quite literally be like you got a job offer and you're literally starting from scratch, and you're kind of like at that beginner's phase where you're having to learn everything new, or maybe you got a promotion and you're in a new job. And a lot of times, we would often say, it takes about 3 to 6 months to really master that new job or get your bearings, right? So it could be that for some of you, you're in that situation where you're starting something new, like a new career or a new job or going back to school or something like that. But what you're creating, what you're building feels very new and big and exciting and just very open. So it's kind of like, again, the canvas is yours to create whatever it is that you want to create. It feels very divinely guided. It does feel, again, like you're just ready to kind of leave the past in the past and start fresh and new. And so that can be really exciting, but that can also feel really daunting. And so there's always this kind of fear of the unknown when it comes to humans. So just embrace that. Just give honor that feeling if it comes up for you, where it's like you can see the potential, you can see where you're headed, but there's also a little bit of fear. Just approach it with as much of a light heart as possible and just with as much surrender as possible, and just knowing like you're saying yes to this and you're working with the universe, not against it, to see what the universe will bring, to see the opportunities that will surface. So this feels like a very beautiful jumping off point for you, like a very good starting point. And it does feel very sort of career driven, but it can also be in a relationship. So again, if this is one thing about fives is, well, this is kind of a blanket statement, but maybe an overgeneralization, but a lot of fives sometimes struggle with committing to a long-term relationship. That's not all fives. And that's usually when you're kind of in your shadow period or, you're out of alignment. There's this really deep, innate need for sort of independence and freedom. And so finding that partner who embraces that and allows you to have that while having trust as well can sometimes be a little bit challenging. And so a lot of times there's some hesitancy for fives to jump into a new relationship or to really commit to a relationship. And so this is just kind of a call, if this is regarding a relationship, again, the energy feels very divinely guided. It feels very supported. So if you have found somebody who can really embrace your five energy and that need for independence, that need for freedom, then, while also, making sure that you take care of the responsibilities that you need to take care of. But if you found somebody who is able to do that without judgment or mistrust or any of those things, that's a gem, that's a gift. And so, don't be too quick to shy away from committing to that relationship, to that person. So anyway, that's whoever that's for. That feels very specific, but just know that whatever this is very divinely guided. And this is kind of a new way for you to look at your relationships, a new way to approach them, and a new way to understand that true relationships, true companionship is meant to be walked side by side. You're not meant to become that other person, and they're not meant to become you, and you're not meant to control that other person, and vice versa. It's more about a walking side by side and complementing the journey. So if you have found that in somebody, then of course that is very supported, and embrace it. So then we move on to the third week in January. And sorry, I just want to mention really quick, not to do a plug in the middle of a reading, but I just wanted to mention, going back to the relationships and five energy, for those of you who are in a partnership and you want to be able to communicate better with your partner, and you want them to be able to better communicate with you and understand kind of what your needs are energetically, I do offer the Love Languages with Numerology reading. It's very affordable, and it looks at the numbers, 4 or 5 major numbers within your chart, and what each person kind of needs to feel supported and embraced in their energetic expression. So if that's something you're interested in, then check that out, because I do think that's a really good resource, especially for fives who, again, sort of sometimes struggle between that need for independence and the desire for a committed relationship as well. Okay, so moving on to the third week of January. So now we have this energy of moving into calmer waters, which I really like that. I kind of feel like 2020 for some of you was just, I mean, for a lot of us, but for a lot of you was just kind of like this feeling of like an uphill battle that just wasn't going to end. And it was kind of like you just felt, or maybe you feel like you were just defeated, and everything you started to put your energy into just kind of like, it was 2 steps forward and 10 steps back, and or maybe you felt really confined, or whatever it is that had you just feeling really, really beat up and wore out and just defeated. I feel like that energy is really shifting for you right now. I feel like you're kind of moving into these calmer waters that feel very, very much more supportive. And again, this is your year. This is a 5 universal year, and so you're really going to be able to embrace those energies that surface for you this month that are so innately you, that at your core. So I do feel like this third week, you're going to feel just kind of like a lot being lifted off your shoulders, and the opportunity to move forward in a really positive way. The only call here would be to let go of any of those resentments or feelings of anger, or anything you might hold that's like kind of like a grudge against 2020, or somebody that may have done something to you or whatever. It's just a call to try to release that, because if you take that with you into these calmer waters, guess what? It's just going to stir the pot, and it's going to make those waters a little more turbulent. And so at some point you're going to have to face it. So I do see the opportunity for moving into calmer waters, but it's kind of what you do with that energy. What you choose to take with you into those calmer waters is what's going to make the difference. So however that shows up for you. Then we move into the 4th week of January. And again, this is beautiful. You guys have some really beautiful energy in January. It's like again, going back to camel spirit, it's like any challenges that might come up for you, you got this. I'm not even worried about you being able to overcome any of the changes or challenges or, turbulence or anything like that. And I feel like this month is going to be a really good pivotal month for you in relationships, in your opportunities to move forward in a big way. And that 4th week of January really emphasizes that. It's like you kind of sitting at your throne, in your magic, standing in your power, knowing what you want, having clarity, feeling like you have a voice in, your, what you want to create and your creative expression, and kind of not taking any shit. It's kind of like, you're like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm going after. And those who want to support me, great. Those that don't, okay, let's move. Right. So you also have this energy of like sort of gifts from the universe. So it's kind of like this feeling of like, okay, you've put in all this work. You felt really sort of defeated, or like you weren't making progress. And now you have an opportunity to sort of see some of those tangibles, to see some of those rewards for all of that effort. And I feel like that's going to come in towards the end of the month for you. And so embrace it. It's kind of like, again, like just that continuing to follow your North Star, which is your intuition. And just receiving those gifts from the universe with open arms and with an open heart. And again, just kind of surrendering as much as you can without the need for control. And I know, again, you guys are really pretty good about that, because with that 5 energy, like you are just, again, it's just that expansive energy of like wanting to explore and go on an adventure and all of that. And I feel like you're kind of at the precipice of this huge new adventure, which is 2021, right? It's like, and this is just the starting point. So beautiful, beautiful, powerful energy this month for you 5s. I'm really excited to see sort of what transpires for you and what comes about. So would love for you to comment in the comment section and let me know. But yeah, just remember, this is really powerful energy, and it's all about how you harness it and what you do with it. So the ball is in your court, but I feel like this could be a really great, great month for you all. So, and just remember, I'm going to just quote Camel one more time, who says, trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. 100%. All within you. You got this. All right. Happy beginning to 2021. And yeah, let's do this. Take care, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye for now.